The gun sat on Kang Tae-jin's desk like a promise of violence as Zara Williams stood before him, heart hammering. His dark eyes, cold, merciless, beautiful, pinned her in place. "You're fired. Pack your things." 6-year-old Minho's scream shattered the tension. "No, Appa, please." The boy clung to Zara's legs, sobbing. She knelt, pulling him close, and something cracked in Tae-jin's chest, something dangerous, something he couldn't name. Their eyes met over his son's trembling body. In that moment, surrounded by the aftermath of bloodshed and a child's desperate tears, Kang Tae-jin felt something impossible awaken inside him. Fear. Not of his enemies. Of losing her. Welcome to Afrohan Tales, Beasties. Please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories like this. Zara's hands shook as she tried to pry Minho's fingers from her skirt. The little boy's face was red, tears streaming as he hyperventilated. "Minho, baby, breathe for me," she whispered, her own eyes burning. "You have 5 minutes." Tae-jin's voice was ice. He stood behind his massive desk, blood still splattered on his white shirt from whatever violence had transpired in the East Wing. His jaw was set, expression unreadable. "Why?" Zara demanded, standing slowly, Minho still attached to her. "What did I do wrong?" "You're done. That's all you need to know." "That's not good enough," her voice cracked. "I've been with Minho for 8 months. He trusts me. He'll survive." But Tae-jin's knuckles were white against the desk. Minho's sobs turned to choking sounds. Zara recognized the signs. Panic attack. She sat on the floor right there in Tae-jin's office, pulling the boy into her lap, rocking him. "Shh, baby. Breathe with me. In, out, in, out." Tae-jin watched, something flickering across his face, quickly buried. After Minho's breathing steadied, Zara looked up at the Mafia boss, her dark eyes blazing. "You're making a mistake." "I don't make mistakes." "Then you're making your first one." She stood, lifting Minho with her despite his weight. The boy wrapped his legs around her curvy frame, face buried in her neck. He needs stability, love, safety, things your world can't give him. Tae-jin moved around the desk with predatory grace. He was tall, powerfully built, wearing violence like a second skin. But when he reached out to touch his son's back, his hand trembled slightly. "Minho-ya," he said softly in Korean. "Let go of Zara-si." "No!" Minho screamed. "She can't leave! She can't!" "This is for your protection," Tae-jin said, jaw clenched. Zara's eyes narrowed. "From what? Or from who?" Their gazes locked. She saw something in his eyes, something raw and desperate beneath the ice. Then it was gone. "Security will escort you out," he said, stepping back. "You'll receive 6 months severance pay." "I don't want your money. I want an explanation." "You won't get one." Later that evening, Zara sat in her tiny apartment in Itaewon, the only place she could afford in Seoul. Her phone buzzed constantly. Unknown numbers. Tae-jin's people, probably making sure she'd actually left. She stared at the ceiling, tears finally falling. Minho's face haunted her. That little boy had lost his mother 2 years ago in a car bombing meant for his father. Zara had watched him slowly come out of his shell, had celebrated the first time he smiled at her, had held him through nightmares. And now, Tae-jin had ripped them apart. "Bastard," she whispered. Her phone rang again. This time, she answered. "Ms. Williams." The voice was unfamiliar, male, professional. "This is Dr. Choi from Seoul National University Hospital. Kang Min-ho has been admitted. He's asking for you." Her blood ran cold. What happened? He collapsed. Severe panic attack leading to respiratory distress. "Mr. Kang requested I contact you." Zara was out the door before the doctor finished speaking. If you're loving this story so far, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. The private hospital wing was eerily quiet. Zara's sneakers squeaked on polished floors as a nurse led her to Minho's room. Through the window, she could see the little boy hooked up to monitors, his small chest rising and falling too quickly. Tae-jin stood beside the bed, still in his blood-stained shirt. He looked up as she entered, and something passed between them, lightning in a bottle. "You came," he said. "Of course I came." Zara moved past him, sitting on the edge of Minho's bed. The boy's eyes fluttered open. "Zara Nuna," he whimpered. "I'm here, baby. I'm right here." His small hand found hers, and his breathing immediately began to slow. The monitor's beeping steadied. Tae-jin watched this transformation with an expression that might have been pain. "The doctor says he's been like this since you left," Tae-jin said quietly. "Won't eat. Won't speak. Just fading." "Children grieve too," Zara said, not looking at him. "You should know that better than anyone." Direct hit. Tae-jin's jaw tightened. "I need to speak with you," he said. "Outside." Zara stroked Minho's hair until he fell asleep, then followed Tae-jin into the hallway. He closed the door behind them, and suddenly the space felt too small. He smelled like gunpowder and expensive cologne, his presence overwhelming. "I made a mistake," he said. Zara crossed her arms. "Oh, now you admit it." "My brother, my half-brother, Lee Sang-woo, threatened you. He sent me photos of you at the market, at the park with Minho, outside your apartment. He said," Tae-jin's hands clenched into fists, "he said he'd use you to get to me." The admission hung in the air. "So you fired me, to protect me?" Zara's laugh was bitter. "Did you think about what that would do to Minho, to me? I thought about keeping you alive. I'm not some fragile thing that needs protecting. You are when my brother specializes in making people disappear." Tae-jin's control cracked, voice rising. Then softer, almost broken. "I can't lose anyone else. I won't." The vulnerability in his voice stopped her cold. This was the man who ruled Seoul's underworld with an iron fist, who people whispered about in fear. And he was standing in a hospital hallway, looking like he might shatter. "What do you want from me?" Zara asked. "Come back, not as an employee, as Minho's legal guardian. You'll live at the estate, full security detail, whatever you need to feel safe." "Why would I agree to that?" Tae-jin stepped closer. Too close. She could see gold flecks in his dark eyes. "Because you love my son. Because he needs you. Because—" He stopped, something dangerous flickering across his face. "Because I'm asking." Zara's heart hammered. "And your brother?" "I'll handle Sang-woo." The promise in his voice was deadly. She should say no, should run far from this world of violence and danger. But Minho's face flashed in her mind, those trusting eyes, that small hand in hers. "I have conditions," she said. "Name them. I'm not your employee. I'm not your servant. I have equal say in Minho's life, education, health, everything." "Agreed. I want the truth, always. No more secrets to protect me." Tae-jin hesitated, then nodded. "And if I'm in danger because of your world, you teach me how to survive in it. I won't be helpless." Something like admiration flashed in his eyes. "You're not what I expected." "What did you expect?" "Someone who'd run." He studied her face. "You're beautiful when you're angry. Has anyone told you that?" The shift in tone made her breath catch. Don't what?" "Whatever this is." She gestured between them. "I'm here for Minho." "Of course," Tae-jin said smoothly. But his eyes said something different entirely. "My driver will collect your things tomorrow. You'll move into the East Wing. The one that had blood in it earlier? It's been cleaned. He turned to leave, then paused. Thank you, Zarasi, for coming back. The way he said her name, soft, almost reverent, sent shivers down her spine. The next morning, Zara found herself standing in a bedroom larger than her entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked manicured gardens. The bed was massive, covered in silk sheets. A walk-in closet held clothes in her exact size, designer labels she'd only seen in magazines. A knock on the door revealed Tae-jin, now in a crisp black suit. Everything satisfactory? You bought me clothes? You'll need appropriate attire for estate functions. I don't remember agreeing to estate functions. You're Minho's guardian now. People will expect to see you. He stepped inside, and Zara's pulse quickened. There's a security briefing in an hour. My head of security, Young-ho, will explain protocols. Protocols? Don't leave the estate without protection. Don't answer questions about my business. Don't trust anyone you haven't been explicitly told to trust. Sounds like prison. It's survival. His eyes darkened. My world isn't kind, Zara, especially not to people I care about. You barely know me. I know you make my son smile. I know you stood up to me when most people cower. I know you're brave enough to walk back into danger for a child who isn't even yours. He moved closer, and she could feel heat radiating from him. That's enough. Drop a comment and let me know. Should Zara trust him? Let's discuss below. Few days later, Zara had fallen into a rhythm. Mornings with Minho, teaching him English, playing in the gardens, laughing. The boy had transformed back into the happy child she remembered. Afternoons, she studied Korean with a tutor Tae-jin had hired. Evenings were different. Evenings, Tae-jin would appear. He'd join them for dinner, sitting at the head of the table, watching Zara and Minho with an intensity that made her skin prickle. Sometimes he'd ask about her day. Sometimes he'd just listen as Minho chattered. But always, his eyes would find hers across the table. One evening, after Minho was asleep, Zara found Tae-jin in his study. She'd been exploring the mansion, or prison, she hadn't decided which, and his door was open. Can't sleep, he asked without looking up from documents. Adjusting. She lingered in the doorway. Can I ask you something? Anything. Why does your brother hate you so much? Tae-jin's pen stilled. Our father had many children, only one legitimate heir. Sang-woo was ambitious. When he was passed over for me, he swore revenge. That's it? Sibling rivalry? In my world, rivalry means war. He finally looked at her, exhaustion shadowing his features. He killed my wife to hurt me. Now he's threatening you. The admission stole her breath. I'm sorry. About your wife. Don't be. We weren't in love. It was arranged. Strategic alliance between families. His smile was bitter. But she was kind. She deserved better than a bomb in her car. Zara entered the study, drawn by something she couldn't name. And Minho saw it. He was with her, survived by a miracle. Hasn't spoken about it since. Not until you. Tae-jin stood, moving to the window. You gave him his voice back. He trusts me. So do I. The words hung between them, weighted with meaning. You shouldn't, Zara said. You don't know me. Then let me. He turned, and the look in his eyes made her stomach flip. Have dinner with me, just us, tomorrow night. That's not appropriate. I'm here for Minho. One dinner, no business, just conversation. His smile was devastating. Unless you're afraid. Of you. Of whatever this is between us. He gestured at the space separating them, mere feet that felt like miles and inches simultaneously. Because I feel it. And I think you do too. Zara's pulse raced. This is a bad idea. Most of the best things are. Against every instinct screaming at her to run, she nodded. One dinner. The following evening, Zara stood in front of her closet, panicking. Every dress Tae-jin had bought her was too elegant, too revealing, too something. Finally, she chose a deep purple wrap dress that hugged her curves, but remained sophisticated. When she emerged, Tae-jin was waiting at the bottom of the stairs. He looked up, and whatever he saw made him freeze. You look. He didn't finish, but his eyes said everything. Is it too much? It's perfect. He offered his arm, and she took it, trying to ignore how right it felt. We're dining on the terrace. The terrace had been transformed. Candles everywhere, soft music playing, a table set for two overlooking the gardens. Seoul's skyline glittered in the distance. You didn't have to do all this, Zara said. I wanted to. He pulled out her chair. I wanted you to see that I'm not just the monster people think I am. Dinner was surprisingly easy. Tae-jin told her about growing up in the syndicate, the pressure of his father's expectations, the loneliness of power. Zara shared stories of Nigeria, her family, her dreams of becoming a teacher before circumstances brought her to Korea. Why teaching? Tae-jin asked, refilling her wine. Children are honest. They haven't learned to lie or manipulate yet. They just are, she smiled. Like Minho, pure. Nothing in my world is pure. Maybe that's why he needs me, to remember there's goodness somewhere. Tae-jin reached across the table, his fingers brushing hers. Maybe I need that reminder too. The touch sent electricity through her. Tae-jin. I know this is complicated. I know I have no right to feel what I'm feeling. His grip tightened. But I can't stop thinking about you. The way you stood up to me. The way you love my son. The way you make this house feel like a home instead of a fortress. This can't happen, Zara whispered, even as her fingers intertwined with his. Why not? Because you're you. Because I work for you. You're Minho's guardian, an equal. Because your world is dangerous. Because I could get hurt. Because you're afraid, he finished softly. So am I. Terrified, actually. Of what? Of how much I want you. How much I need you. He stood, moving around the table, pulling her to her feet. Tell me you don't feel this too. Tell me I'm alone in this madness. She couldn't, because standing this close to him, feeling his heat, seeing the raw vulnerability in his eyes, she felt it too. This impossible, dangerous pull. We shouldn't, she breathed. I know. His hand cupped her face. But I'm going to kiss you anyway, unless you tell me to stop. She didn't tell him to stop. When Tae-jin's lips met hers, the world disappeared. There was only heat and want, and a desperate hunger that terrified her. His hand slid into her hair, tilting her head back as he deepened the kiss. She melted against him, her curves fitting perfectly against his hard body. Zara, he groaned against her mouth. God, Zara. They stumbled backward into the house, lips locked, hands exploring. He pressed her against the wall of the hallway, his body pinning hers, and she gasped at the feeling of him. All power and controlled violence and barely restrained need. We should stop, she panted. Do you want to stop? No, yes, I don't know. He pulled back, breathing hard, forehead resting against hers. I won't take advantage of you. If this happens, I need you sure. She looked into his eyes and saw everything. The want, yes, but also something deeper. Something that looked dangerously like devotion. I'm sure, she whispered. I'm terrified, but I'm sure. He swept her into his arms, carrying her up the stairs to his bedroom. What happened next was a blur of sensation. His mouth on her skin, whispered words in Korean she didn't understand, but felt in her soul. The way he touched her, like she was precious and breakable in his. Afterward, they lay tangled in his sheets, the city lights casting shadows across their skin. Tae-jin traced patterns on her bare shoulder, his touch reverent. "I've never," he started. Then stopped. "Never what?" "Felt like this vulnerable, this exposed." He turned her to face him. "You undo me, Zara Williams." She kissed him softly. "Good. Because you terrify me, Kang Tae-jin. I'll never hurt you. I swear it." She wanted to believe him, so badly. But as dawn crept through the windows and Tae-jin fell asleep beside her, Zara's doubts returned. What had she done? Crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed? Given herself to a man whose world was built on violence? She slipped from the bed, dressing quietly, and retreated to her own room before anyone could see. The next morning, Zara avoided Tae-jin. She focused on Minho, teaching him, playing, pretending her world hadn't shifted on its axis. But at lunch, Tae-jin appeared in the garden, where she and Minho were having a picnic. "Appa!" Minho ran to him. Tae-jin scooped up his son, but his eyes were on Zara. "Can we talk?" "We're busy," she said, not meeting his gaze. "Minho-ya, go find Jung-ho. He has something for you." The boy scampered off, leaving them alone. Tae-jin sat beside Zara on the blanket. "You're avoiding me." "I'm not. You left this morning, before I woke up." "I didn't want to confuse Minho." "Is that the only reason?" His hand found hers. "Or are you running?" She finally looked at him. "Last night was a mistake." Pain flashed across his face. "A mistake. We got caught up in the moment. It can't happen again." "Why not?" "Because you're a mafia boss. Because people die around you. Because your brother is trying to kill me. Because you're falling for me, and it scares you," he said quietly. "I'm not." "Don't lie to me, Zara. I felt it last night. The way you touched me, looked at me, said my name." He moved closer, cupping her face. "I'm falling for you too. Have been since the moment you stood in my office and demanded answers." "This is insane." "Yes," he smiled. "Completely insane. And I don't care." Before she could respond, Jung-ho's voice crackled through Tae-jin's earpiece. His expression changed instantly. All business, all danger. "What is it?" Zara asked. "Sang-woo's men, at the east gate." He stood, pulling out his phone. "Stay with Minho. Don't leave the house." "Tae-jin, I'll handle it." He kissed her forehead quickly. "Trust me." Then he was gone, jogging toward the main house, barking orders in rapid Korean. Zara's stomach churned with fear. That evening, Tae-jin returned covered in blood that wasn't his. He walked past Zara without a word, heading straight to his study. She found him there an hour later, nursing a whiskey, staring at nothing. "Is it done?" she asked. "For now. We captured 3 of his men. They'll talk eventually." "You're hurt." She noticed the cut above his eye. "It's nothing." She grabbed the first aid kit from the bathroom, returning to clean his wound. He sat still as she worked, but his eyes never left her face. "You should leave," he said suddenly. Her hand stilled. "What?" "This life, my life, it's too dangerous. Sang-woo won't stop. Today was a warning. Next time." He closed his eyes. "I can't protect you and Minho both. Not forever. So you're just giving up?" "I'm being realistic." Zara's temper flared. "You said you'd never hurt me, but pushing me away? That hurts, Tae-jin. Better hurt than dead. I'm not leaving Minho, and I'm not leaving you." She forced him to look at her. "You said you feel this too. So fight for it. Fight for us." "You don't understand what you're asking." "Then help me understand." "My father was killed by a rival family when I was 15. My wife was murdered. Everyone I love dies, Zara." His voice cracked. "I can't watch that happen to you." She saw it then. the terrified man beneath the monster. So you'll just be alone forever? Lock yourself away in this fortress? If it keeps you safe, that's not living. That's just existing. She knelt between his legs, hands on his thighs. I'm here. I'm choosing this. Choosing you. Stop trying to make my decisions for me. You're stubborn. You're dramatic. She smiled despite everything. We're quite a pair. He pulled her into his lap, burying his face in her neck. I'm so afraid of losing you. Then don't push me away. She held him tight. We face this together. Teach me to protect myself. Let me be strong beside you. You already are, he kissed her, and it tasted like desperation and hope. Stay tonight. Please. The following week, Tae-jin kept his word. Every morning, before Minho woke, Jung-ho taught Zara self-defense. How to break holds, strike vital points, use weapons. She was a quick study, fierce and determined. You're a natural, Jung-ho said after she successfully disarmed him. I'm motivated, she replied, thinking of Minho, of Tae-jin. Afternoons she spent with Minho, but evenings belonged to Tae-jin. They'd have dinner, talk, laugh. Sometimes they'd make love slowly, reverently. Other times, it was desperate, hungry, like they were trying to consume each other completely. Zara had never felt so alive, so terrified, so in love. Yes, love. She could admit it now, at least to herself. She was in love with Kang Tae-jin, Mafia boss, killer, devoted father, broken man trying to be whole. One evening, at a charity gala Tae-jin was required to attend, Zara saw his world in full display. Powerful men and women, all hiding knives behind smiles. Tae-jin kept her close, his hand possessive on her waist. Who's the beautiful woman Tae-jin see? A sleek businesswoman asked, eyes calculating. My son's guardian, he said smoothly. Of course. But her smile said she knew better. Later, a young chaebol heir named Kim Min-jae approached Zara at the bar. You're new to this world. That obvious? You look uncomfortable, like you want to run. His smile was charming. I'm Min-jae, and you are? Zara. Beautiful name for a beautiful woman. He moved closer. If you ever tire of guardian duties, I'd love to show you soul properly. She's busy, Tae-jin's voice cut in, cold as winter. He appeared beside Zara, his presence dark and threatening. Permanently. Min-jae's smile faltered. Just being friendly, Hyung Nim. Be friendly elsewhere. Tae-jin's hand slid around Zara's waist, pulling her against him. She's mine. The possessiveness should have annoyed her. Instead, it sent heat pooling low in her belly. After Min-jae retreated, Zara turned to Tae-jin. Yours? Yes. His eyes were blazing. Is that a problem? Depends. Am I just a possession? You're everything. He backed her against a pillar in a shadowed alcove. And watching him look at you, touch you, made me want to break his hands. You're jealous. Insanely. He kissed her hard. Tell me you're mine, Zara. I'm yours, she breathed, but you're mine too. Always. They left the gala early, barely making it to the car before hands were roaming, lips desperate. That night, Tae-jin made love to her like he was claiming her, body and soul. But happiness in Tae-jin's world never lasted. A few days later, Zara was at the market with Minho and 2 bodyguards. She was comparing apples when she felt eyes on her. Looking up, she saw a man watching from across the street. Middle-aged, cruel smile, resembling Tae-jin enough to make her stomach drop. Sang-woo. Their eyes met. He raised a phone, snapped a photo, and disappeared into the crowd. We need to leave, one bodyguard said urgently, clearly having seen the same thing. They rushed back to the estate. Tae-jin met them at the door, face thunderous. He approached you, just watched, and took a photo. Damn it! Tae-jin paced like a caged animal. This is a message. He's telling me he can get to you whenever he wants. Then we take the fight to him, Zara said. Absolutely not. You're staying here, locked down. While you do what? Start a war? If necessary. And get yourself killed? Leave Minho without a father? She grabbed his arm. There has to be another way. There isn't. Not with Sang-woo. Tae-jin's expression was bleak. He wants my empire, and he'll destroy everything I love to get it. That night, security tripled. The estate became a fortress. Zara felt suffocated, trapped. Minho sensed the tension, becoming clingy and anxious. I hate this, Zara told Tae-jin as they lay in bed. Feeling helpless. You're safe. That's what matters. But for how long? We can't live like this forever. He had no answer. The attack came on a Tuesday. Zara was in the garden with Minho when gunfire erupted. She grabbed the boy, running for the house as bodyguards returned fire. Jung-ho appeared, ushering them into the panic room, a reinforced basement Tae-jin had shown her during training. Stay here, Jung-ho ordered. Don't open this door for anyone but me or Tae-jin. The heavy door sealed shut. Minho was crying, terrified. Zara held him close, her own hands shaking. Above them she could hear shouting, more gunfire, explosions. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time had no meaning in the dark. Finally, the door opened. Tae-jin stood there, covered in blood and soot, eyes wild until they found her. Zara. Minho. He fell to his knees, pulling them both into his arms. Thank God. What happened? Zara asked. Sang-woo's full assault. We repelled them, but... He looked at her, and she saw fear. This is just the beginning. He's declared war. Subscribe now because this story is far from over. The biggest twist is still coming. That night, after Minho finally slept, Tae-jin called a meeting with his inner circle. Zara insisted on attending. We need to end this, Jung-ho said. Sang-woo won't stop. Agreed, Tae-jin said. I'm planning a direct strike. Hit him where he lives. That's suicide, another lieutenant protested. His compound is a fortress. Then we make him come to us. Set a trap. Using what as bait? Jung-ho asked. The room fell silent. Then Tae-jin's eyes met Zara's, and she knew. No, she said immediately. It's the only way. He wants you. We use that. Absolutely not, she stood. I won't be bait. You'll be protected. My best men. I said no, Tae-jin. And I'm saying this is the only way to end it. His control snapped. You think I want to risk you? It's killing me. But if we don't stop Sang-woo now, he'll pick us off one by one. You, Minho, everyone I care about. There has to be another way. There isn't. He grabbed her shoulders. Please, Zara. Trust me. She saw the desperation in his eyes, the fear, the love, and she realized he was right. This would never end unless they forced it to. What's the plan? She asked quietly. Relief flooded his face. We leak information that you'll be at a charity event downtown. Small security detail. He'll take the bait, try to grab you. We'll be ready. And if something goes wrong? Nothing will go wrong. I swear it. 3 days later, Zara stepped out of a car in front of Seoul's Grand Hotel, wearing a red evening gown, looking like easy prey. Her heart hammered as she walked inside, knowing Sang-woo's men were watching. Tae-jin was nearby. She couldn't see him, but she felt his presence. It gave her courage. The event was boring, filled with people who didn't matter. Zara made small talk, smiled, waited. An hour passed. Then 2. Maybe Sang-woo wasn't coming. Maybe. The lights went out. Screams erupted. Gunfire. Zara dropped to the floor as instructed, but rough hands grabbed her in the darkness. A cloth over her mouth. Chemical smell. Her vision blurred. "Tae-jin!" She tried to scream, but the world was fading. The last thing she heard was his voice, roaring her name. Zara woke in darkness, head pounding. She was tied to a chair in what looked like a warehouse. Across from her sat Sang-woo, smile cold. "Finally awake," he said in accented English. "I was beginning to worry my men used too much chloroform. Where am I?" "Somewhere your lover will never find you." He circled her like a predator. "You're beautiful. I can see why Tae-jin is obsessed. He always did have expensive tastes. He'll kill you for this. He'll try. But first, I'll make him watch you suffer. Make him feel what I felt when he took everything from me." Sang-woo's expression twisted with hatred. "Our father chose him over me, gave him the empire that should have been mine. So I'll take everything from him, starting with you." "I'm not afraid of you. You should be." He grabbed her face roughly. "I could make your death quick, or very, very slow. The choice is his." A phone rang. Sang-woo answered, his smile widening. "Tae-jin, so nice of you to call." Zara couldn't hear Tae-jin's response, but Sang-woo laughed. "Your woman is safe, for now. Come to the old factory district, alone, or I start cutting pieces off her." He hung up, turning to Zara. Tae-jin arrived an hour later, walking into the warehouse alone, hands raised. Zara's heart broke seeing him, face pale, eyes desperate. "I'm here," he said. "Let her go." "Not yet." Sang-woo had a gun to Zara's head. "First, you sign over your empire, all of it. Done. Just don't hurt her." "Tae-jin, no!" Zara shouted. "Don't do it!" "Shut up!" Sang-woo hit her, and Tae-jin's control shattered. He lunged forward, but Sang-woo fired a warning shot. "Don't test me, little brother." Tae-jin stopped, breathing hard. "The papers are being drawn up. They'll be ready in an hour. Just, please don't hurt her." "So weak. Love made you weak." Sang-woo's laugh was cruel. Father would be disappointed. Father was a monster, like you. And you're not. How many people have you killed, Tae-jin? How much blood is on your hands? Enough to know I don't want that life for my son. For her. Tae-jin looked at Zara, and she saw everything in his eyes. "I'd give it all up for them. The empire, the power, everything." "Then you're a fool." The explosion came from outside, Jung-ho's signal. In the chaos, Tae-jin moved. He covered the distance between them in seconds, tackling Sang-woo. The gun went off. Zara screamed. But it was Sang-woo who fell, clutching his stomach, blood spreading. Tae-jin stood over him, his own gun smoking. "It's over," Tae-jin said. "You lose." Sang-woo smiled through bloody teeth. "If I can't have the empire, neither can you." His hand moved. Detonator. "Bomb!" someone shouted. Tae-jin ran to Zara, cutting her free. They sprinted for the exit as the warehouse exploded behind them, the blast throwing them forward. They hit the ground hard, debris raining down. When the ringing in Zara's ears stopped, she realized Tae-jin was covering her body with his, shielding her from the wreckage. "Are you hurt?" he gasped. "I'm fine." "You?" He rolled off her, and she saw blood. So much blood. "Tae-jin!" She pressed her hands to the wound in his side. "No, no, no, stay with me." "I'm okay," he said, but his face was pale. "You're safe. That's all that matters." "You stupid, stupid man." She was crying, couldn't stop. "Why did you cover me?" "Because I love you." His hand touched her face. "I love you, Zara. Have since the moment you refused to back down to me. You can't die. I won't let you." She looked around wildly. "Jung-ho! Help!" The security chief was already there, applying pressure to Tae-jin's wound. "Ambulance is coming. Hold on, boss." Tae-jin's eyes never left Zara's face. "If I don't make it..." "Shut up! You're not dying!" "If I don't make it, promise me you'll take care of Minho. Be his mother, the one he deserves. We're taking care of him together, you hear me? Together." "I love you," he said again, softer. "My fierce, beautiful Zara." Then his eyes closed. "No! Tae-jin! Stay with me!" She was screaming, begging, but he didn't respond. The ambulance came. They loaded him in. Zara rode beside him, holding his hand, praying to every god she'd ever heard of. "Don't take him. Please don't take him." The surgery took 7 hours. Zara sat in the waiting room, covered in Tae-jin's blood, refusing to leave. Jung-ho brought her coffee she didn't drink. Minho slept in her lap, exhausted from crying. Finally, the doctor emerged. "He's stable. The bullet missed vital organs. He'll recover fully." Zara sobbed with relief. They let her see him an hour later. He was pale, hooked to machines, but breathing, alive. She sat beside his bed, taking his hand, and waited for him to wake. When his eyes finally opened, they found her immediately. "You're still here," he said, voice rough. "Where else would I be? You could have left, should have left. This life is yours, which means it's mine too." She leaned forward. "I love you, Kang Tae-jin. Your world, your scars, your son, all of it. I'm not going anywhere." His smile was beautiful. "Marry me." "What?" "Marry me, Zara Williams. Be Minho's mother. Be my wife. Let me spend the rest of my life loving you, protecting you, being worthy of you." You almost died. This might be the pain medication talking. "I've never been more clear-headed." He squeezed her hand. "I want forever with you, if you'll have me." She kissed him softly. "Yes, yes, I'll marry you." 3 months later, Zara stood in a garden overlooking Seoul, wearing a white dress, Minho beside her in a tiny suit. Tae-jin waited at the altar, fully healed, eyes bright with love. When she reached him, he whispered, "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You clean up pretty well yourself." They said their vows, promises of forever, of choosing each other every day, of building something beautiful from the ashes of their pasts. When Tae-jin kissed her, Minho cheered. The small gathering of friends and family applauded. "I love you, Mrs. Kang," Tae-jin said against her lips. "I love you too." That evening, at the reception, Tae-jin pulled her onto the terrace, away from the crowd. "What are you doing?" she laughed. "Stealing a moment alone with my wife." He wrapped his arms around her waist. "Do you know what today is? Our wedding day. The day my life truly began." He kissed her forehead. "You saved me, Zara, from myself, from loneliness, from becoming the monster everyone thought I was. You saved yourself. I just reminded you who you wanted to be. We saved each other." Below them, Seoul glittered like possibility. Behind them, their future waited. Minho, a home full of love, a life built on choosing each other despite the odds. "No regrets?" Tae-jin asked. Zara thought of everything. The fear, the danger, the impossible journey that brought them here. "Not a single one." He kissed her then, deep and passionate, a promise of forever. Inside, Minho called for them, his voice bright with laughter. Their son, their family. Zara took Tae-jin's hand, and together they walked back inside, into the light, into love, into the life they'd fought so hard to build. The Mafia boss who'd once fired a maid for no good reason had learned the most important lesson of all. Love doesn't make you weak, it makes you invincible. And Zara Williams, the woman who refused to be dismissed, had found her home in the most unexpected place, in the arms of a man who'd burn the world down to keep her safe and build it back up to make her smile. They'd survived the darkness. Now, finally, they could live in the light, together. Always. Thank you so much for watching, besties. If this story made your heart race, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me your favorite moment. Was it the rescue? The proposal? The warehouse explosion? And don't forget to subscribe to Afrohan Tales for more dark romance stories that will keep you up all night. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Trust me, the next story is even more intense. See you in the next one, loves.